Hi everyone, it's Genene. Today, let's keep progressing our core strengthening program with 5 new yoga poses that you can do for overall core strengthening. Now, one of the contributing factors to low back pain can be tight hamstrings, so we'll throw in some hamstring stretches as well. And by special request from some of my subscribers, a little arm strengthening as well. To go a lot deeper and get a lot stronger, go to my website for more in-depth yoga videos in my core strengthening series. For today, let's get started. 5 new dynamic stretching movements for you. I'll show you how to do them. You'll do them on your own. I'll give you all the tricks and tips associated with each one. The first one is a down dog series. So you start in downward facing dog the way you usually do. You'll inhale to plank. Exhale, right knee to chest. Hold 5 seconds. And then you take the knee over to the right. You hold for 5 seconds. So maybe it comes to the outside of your arm, maybe it comes close. And then you go over and bring it to the left. Hold 5 seconds. And then bring it center. Hold 5 seconds. And then come back to downward facing dog. And then you would do the left side. Inhaling to plank, exhaling knee to chest, holding 5 seconds, taking the knee over this time to the left, holding 5 seconds, over to the right, hold 5 seconds, back to center, hold 5 seconds, and then it's back to downward facing dog. If that's a bit too challenging, you try this on hands and knees underneath hip bones, same thing. Knee to chest, show it on the side, knee to chest, right, left. You don't have as much movement here, but you'll feel it. You want to progress it up, come into plank, lower the knees behind the hips. Then you can inhale the leg behind you first, knee to chest, right, left. Again, not a lot of movement, not a lot of clearance space there. You're not as high up as in plank. You're a little lower. But you can feel that you're developing strength here. Number 2 is really simple because you're already there. Downward facing dog. This one you're going to hold for 30 to 60 seconds. So you might start at 30, hold, and then keep progressing it up. The more times you do this series, the easier this becomes. Number 3. Exciting news. You get to hold something else. Plank options. So you're going to hold plank 30 to 60 seconds with the same thing as before, but here's your options. Number 1, if this is no good on your wrists, come to your forearms. The trick with forearms is you think forearms are so much easier, except that you're more narrow here. You don't have as much freedom. So it is more challenging. So you would do forearm plank, like so. Another option, forearm plank with knees on the floor. Another option, if this doesn't bother your wrists, you would come into plank, same thing. Knees on the floor behind your hips and hold here. You'll feel your abs working here. And then we're back to moving. Uttanasana to Ardha Uttanasana. What's that look like? So you would come into Tadasana, go into Uttanasana, and we'll see. I'll show you. You can also come at it. I'll show you another way since you're already in down dog. I think you know how to do it from standing. From down dog, probably know as well. You walk your feet forward. You're already there, so these asanas kind of link together that way. And then you bow forwards. If you're more flexible, your hands are beside your feet. If they're not, they're forward. If this doesn't work, Then your hands are in the front of your shins. And then inhale, extend up halfway. Exhale, bow. That's it. Uttanasana. Inhale to Ardha Uttanasana. That's one. You do that 10 times. And the last one, totally for your back. Cobra Bhujangasana. Lie on your bellies. And you're going to move this. So moving Cobra. First you find your legs. I'm on my forearms just so I can talk. Here's the tricks, okay? You tuck your toes under, lift your knee off the ground, and lengthen the leg on the floor. You can also lift the whole leg and lengthen it on the floor if that works better for you. Your choice, but you've created space so that your pelvis can be firmly on the floor before you start. If it is not, then you might hurt yourself in your back. You don't want that. Thigh bones turn in, legs firm. Spread your toes, press down through all 10 toenails. Then you start with your hands across from your chest. And you'll see where you can go. Elbows will want to swing out. You take your elbows in line with your shoulders. And this funny thing happens where sometimes your hands get too close to your body and then you get stuck. So see if you can find them a little wider, just wide enough. And then your elbows in line with your wrists. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower. So as you're moving here, you're extending from tailbone to crown of head, even as you're turning this into a back bend. Things to also consider is the pubic bone, pushing forward and pulling up. The chest is broad. If the shoulders are rounded forward, you're not going to get very far because your shoulders are going into a forward bend while you're going into a back bend. And the body gets a little bit confused as to which way do you want me to go? I'm confused. So you can start lower and focus on getting more broad here. You can play, if you're not going to go up very high, we don't teach this to every single person, okay? But you can inhale, lift up, and exhale lower. Obviously, you can't lift up very high. You're only doing this to remind your body to lengthen, okay? So you don't feel short. There's other reasons, but that's enough to understand. Lengthen through the front and back ribs and lift up. You're going to do that moving Bhujangasana, moving Cobra, 10 times. Then you're going to repeat that. So you're going to do it a total of 3 times. Doing that every other day should help you strengthen your abs. And little tricky bit there you might have noticed when you're in the down dog, the plank, and doing all those funny things with your legs. Good arm strengthener too. Which pose did you find most beneficial? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear from you. And then next time, we're going to be focusing on strengthening our glutes. Until then, namaste.